Hey YouTube, MaxZ2021 here, coming at you with a non-manga haul video for April, May, and June of 2017. Um, like I said in the manga haul video I uploaded for April and May, I would have included all this other stuff I'm about to show in that video, but the video would have ended up being too long, maybe. So I just decided to do a separate haul video for all this other stuff. So, the only thing I'm not going to show is figures that I got. I just don't really feel like showing them. So, I mean, if you follow me on social media, then you've probably seen them. But, yeah, I'm just not going to show figures this time. Maybe next time. So, before I get to the games, I'm going to show the stuff that's not games. That's also not figures, because I just said I didn't want to show any figures. First up, I got a drawing tablet. It's a Wacom. I think that's how you pronounce it. This is the one that most people were recommending to me, because I was asking around what would be a good drawing tablet, because I wanted to start doing digital artwork. And I just got this one. I forgot exactly how much it was going for, but anyways, I also found the limited edition strategy guide for Kingdom Hearts 2. The only difference between this and the regular one is that it comes with the guide for the game, and then it also comes up with a printed up version of Gemini's Journal from 2, specifically Vanilla Kingdom Hearts 2, not Final Mix. I found this for $11, which was a pretty good steal at that price. And then last month in May, I went to Disney World for the first time. That was pretty cool. I would definitely like to go back at some point if I ever have the money for it, because it's pretty expensive. But it's well worth it for anyone that hasn't been. I got a few souvenirs, not too much. I got a bunch of those collectible trading pens. I don't remember where I put them, so I can't really show any. I got a Stitch hat. I got a plushie of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. They had this one, and then they had one that was much bigger, but it was like crocheted together or made out of yarn, or I think it was knitted together. I don't know, but I wanted the one that I just showed more. And then when I was over by the Epcot portion of Disney World, I found over by where they got they have this one section, or multiple sections, where they got different parts of the world featured. Like, they got a little section for France, a little section for Spain, Africa. It's like I'm not really sure how to describe it, but over in the Japan section, they had this one store. I don't want to say it's a department store, because it wasn't super huge, but it was pretty sizable, and they had like a bunch of Japanese stuff, including figures and other anime and manga stuff. And they had this friggin' Pikachu statue that was $10,000. I don't know why it was that expensive, but it was just kind of big. Anyways, the stuff I got from that store, I got a pre-time skip chopper hat. And then I got a Doraemon plushie, and you can even move the little pocket that he pulls his gadgets out of. So that's cool. Figured I had to get something that was Doraemon related because you hardly hear anyone talk about Doraemon nowadays. That's a shame. But that's it for the not game stuff. Now let's get to the games. I'm just gonna show it all in like the order I. Wait, give me a second. Show it all in the order I got the stuff in. And the first two things I'm showing, I did unboxing videos for, and more people watched the second one I did as opposed to the first one. I think it still has like 11 views, maybe. But I did an unboxing for the what's it called? Take Your Heart Premium Edition for Persona 5. That came with the Steelbook version of the game and some extra stuff. And then I got the, I guess it would be considered a limited edition. Limited collector's edition, whatever you want to call it, for A Rose in the Twilight. This one has over 200 views. I already did an unboxing for that, so if you haven't seen it yet, check that out when you get a chance. I got the Idolmaster hold on, let me focus it. I got the Idolmaster Cinderella Girls Gravier for You Volume 2. I got Xenoblade Chronicles and Bayonetta 2, specifically first print version that came with the first game. And crap, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. I'm just gonna move on to the next thing. But yeah, when I went to get those two games, because I've borrowed them before, I just never had a chance to own them. But when I went and got those two, I found out that they had wait, let me unzip this case. Give me 1 second. Found out that they had Switch in stock. And I think it might have been the last one, because the guy just pulled it off with the little display wall thing behind the registers. But managed to get one. I wanted one with the neon colored Joy-Cons, but this is the only one they had. So I was like, I might as well get it while they have it. And then, like, I think a day later, I got a case for it. So, yeah, after owning it for a few months, I gotta say, I'm loving it. It's definitely worth it, or it's gonna be definitely very worth it once all the really big name games come out, like later in the year. Like, all it really needs right now is just a bigger lineup of games. But yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it as much as I expected, and then more. And then, when I picked up my Switch, they also had Puyo Puyo Tetris in stock. And all it came with it was... It came with this box thing. And then it had the case. And these two keychains. One of them is a purple T-Block Tetramino. And the other one's a green Puyo. And apparently Target had this exclusive thing where you could it came with something else besides the keychains. I know that much, but I don't remember what exactly came with it if you bought it at Target. And I don't even know if the PS4 version came with the keychains either. But it's kind of weird that they only brought over the PS4 and the Switch versions of the game, because it's been out for a few years in Japan, and It was just the 3DS and Wii U versions that you couldn't import because of region lock. But anyways, and when I got that carrying case for my Switch, I also found over in like clearance section, I got the Vita version of Minecraft and Wonderful 101. So that's cool and good. After that, I got the... I guess it's a collector's edition, maybe. I got the collector's edition of Danganronpa 1-2 Reload, or maybe it's 1.2? I'm pretty sure it's Dash. It comes with a bunch of stuff, but I don't really feel like opening the box. It comes with a pair of sunglasses, a bumper sticker, a little art book, soundtrack. I don't think it's got all the songs from both games on it, and then, yeah, I think that's all it came with it. Lastly, I'll show both of these at the same time. I got Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor 2 Record Breaker, which is the 3DS port of Devil Survivor 2, or I should say enhanced port, since the 3DS port for Devil Survivor 1 was an enhanced port. And I got the version that came with a set of decals and a little soundtrack sampler thing. I thought it would have been the full OST, but I was sorely mistaken. But I got it at a good price, so I'm not that upset about it. And then I got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's the definitive version of Mario Kart 8. I mean, the Wii U version's pretty good, but this version's just better. I mean, it's Mario Kart 8 on the go. I mean, what's not to love? I mean, unless you don't like portable gaming, but it's each their own. Let's see, what did I get next? Alright, the rest of the stuff I got in May, and then the last thing we're going to show I got a few days ago, this month. So, wait, hold on. Oh, right. Okay, so first up, I got Earth Defense Force Insect Armageddon. I think this is the third game in the EDF series. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the third one, because the second one got a remake on Vita, and then the fourth one got an enhanced port to PS4 and Steam. So yeah, I think this is the third one? Maybe, or maybe it's a remake of the first one. I'm not entirely sure. Next up, I got Nier Automata Day 1 Edition. I did have the Collector's Edition pre-ordered way back when they first announced it last year. And then, because Square Enix decided to charge for pre-orders 2 weeks earlier than I expected, they ended up canceling my pre-order because I was flat broke and I couldn't pay for it. So, I managed to pick it up when I had the extra money. And, yeah, I would talk more about it, but, I'll probably save that for a video or something, unless somebody just wants to ask me about it, and I'll just talk about it in the comments. One of my friends hooked me up with the, what's it called? A physical copy of Hyper Light Drifter, and this comes with a fold-out map, and wait, let's see, what else does it come with? It comes with a fold-out map and a manual, and the manual is actually pretty handy. Like, it tells you stuff, because the game's kind of cryptic with its hints and whatnot. Then there's a reversible cover. That's all gold. That's pretty cool. For anybody that's interested in picking up a physical copy of Hyper Light Drifter, They sell it on I am 8-bit. I forget if it's .com or .net. Just look up I am 8-bit, and you're good to go. Supposing it's still in stock. Let's see, what else did I get? I got the collector's edition for Birthdays the Beginnings, or Birthdays the Beginning. This is the newest game by the guy that made Harvest Moon. Give me 1 second. I already have all the stuff out of the box. Here's the box. It's pretty big. Like, I don't know what compelled him to make a God game, but it works for the most part. You get a soundtrack. I don't remember how many songs are on here. Oh! There's 32 tracks. That's pretty cool. Oh, shoot. Don't mess up. Get a 32 track soundtrack. Get a little cell phone charm thing. It's got the logo, and then it's got a little symbol thing from in the game. You get a signed art print by the guy that made it. Got the logo on the back. I forget how this one's spelled, but that one says Wada. I think it's Yoichi Wada. I'm not entirely sure. All I know is he made Harvest Moon. He might have had some hand in Rune Factory. The last thing that comes with the collector's edition is this little plushie of the avatar mascot that you play as. And all you're really doing in this game is just geoform the landscape and get conditions set to where, like, temperature is a certain amount, and, like, there's a certain amount of land and sea and whatever, and you gotta get organisms to evolve into other organisms or whatever. It's not difficult, but it does take some time to get used to, I guess. Next up, I got Disgaea 5 Complete. This is essentially Disgaea 5 on the Switch, and they included all the DLC. And it's also portable, which is a plus. So, yeah, there's that. I kind of wanted to get the collector's edition off of NIS America's online store, but I've never really been a huge Disgaea fan, so I figured I wasn't gonna worry about it. Plus, it's sold out by now, so not a total loss, I guess. Next up, I got Seiya no Uta, or Song of Seiya, that's what it translates to. And this is an eroge. And, well, I'm not gonna try and explain what that is, but, I will say that this is the first major work that Gen Urobuchi directed. And for those of you that have heard his name or don't know what else he worked on, he went and directed Madoka Magica and season 1 of Psycho-Pass. And I think he also had a hand on I think the first episode of Gargantia of the Virtuous Planet, and I'm pretty sure he also worked on the first episode of Aldnoah Zero. But yeah, this is one of his most infamous works. So yeah, don't look up anything for that if you're not over 18. Unless you just don't care. Next up, and this was My biggest purchase, or three my three biggest purchases for the last few months, I got the limited edition release of the PS2 port of Mushihime-sama. This comes with a collectible figure of Reko as a child holding her pet stag beetle thing that you blow stuff up with as a little baby beetle. And I mostly just got this for collector's purposes, since I don't have a Japanese PS2 or a modded PS2. But I mean, I own the game on Steam, so I can just go play that version whenever I want. And I also got the OST for the game. This is my favorite soundtrack out of any game ever. And I also own this on Steam. And then I got the sequel, Mushihime-sama Futari, version 1.5. And fortunately, this one is not region locked, because some shmups on 360 were region locked and some weren't. And one thing I like about this specific case is that it has this little tab you can pull out. So when you go to open it, you don't have to like really bend the case or anything. But this specific release of the game came with the Double Range album. This is essentially it has remixes for both games, and it's composed by like other composers. It's got 2 discs. First disc has remixed songs from Mushihime-sama. The second one, in the second disc, has remixes for songs from this game. And then there's a case. They did release this one update thing for this game on the American Xbox Live Marketplace, but they mislabeled it, or they misspelled it for some reason. I'm not sure why. The only other things I need to complete this collection is, I guess, the 360 version of the first game, and then the soundtrack for this game, since the one that came with this was just remixed versions. But yeah, this is hands down, the first game is hands down one of Cave's best shoot-'em-ups, and hands down my favorite shoot-'em-up of all time. And I would consider it to be one of the best entry points into that genre. It's only like $20 on Steam, so it's definitely worth checking out. I mean, the soundtrack alone is just, oh man, it's a masterpiece. But okay, this video's going on for a bit longer than I wanted it to, so I'm gonna show the last thing, and that'll be it. And I got the Switch port of Cave Story Plus, and it actually came with more than just this little randomly selected keychain, because you can get 1 of 3 keychains. It came with this is the little bag that the keychain came in. Came with not only the little keychain, came with a disc of one of the soundtracks, and then came with an instruction booklet. And the Switch port for Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus also came with an instruction booklet, but this one, I'd say, is more well-structured, since Cave Story is not as massive of a game as Binding of Isaac. I mean, like, it even tells you how to get the best ending, which, unless you know what you're doing, you're probably not going to get the best ending, because there's a few things you gotta do that either you wouldn't think to do or go against what most people would do. And it's got a reversible cover. I think Nicholas also published 1001 Spikes, because Carly Brace, the one of the other main characters, this girl right here, she shows up in this game. And after playing the Switch version report of Cave Story Plus for several hours, I would have to say that this is the definitive version of Cave Story, because every time they would release it to a new platform or whatever, they would always include or add in something new. And this version has just about everything that was added to each version. The only thing it's missing is what is it? The original graphics, because every other version that included the new graphics, you could switch between the old and the new graphics. And this version of Cave Story, specifically Cave Story Plus, has 4 soundtracks that you can switch between. You got the original soundtrack that Pixel composed on Orc Maker, which I'm pretty sure he also made, since he made the original game by himself, and that took 5 years to make. And this is a 13-year-old game. It came out in 2004 as a freeware game. But yeah, this version of Cave Story has the original soundtrack, the remastered track, which appeared, the remastered soundtrack, which appeared in the WiiWare port, or the WiiWare version of Cave Story. And then it's got a soundtrack that's specifically for Cave Story Plus, or I should say when it got released on Steam. And then it has a version where it was composed with a Famicom sound chip, I suppose, which is what I believe is on this little disc. But yeah, I gotta say, like, all the stuff that's in this version of Cave Story, in my eyes, makes it the definitive version. Like, if you've never played Cave Story before, I'd say either get Cave Story Plus on Steam if you don't have a Switch, or if you do have a Switch, then get this version. And let me get a shot of the back. I'd have to say, going by when the game was released, back in 2004, it could be considered the first indie game of sorts. Since, I mean, nowadays people consider it an indie game. And I don't remember any other independently developed games, aside from this one, coming out before 2004. I'm guessing that's why people consider it the king of indie games. Let's see, what else can I say? I guess, like, because of Cave Story's status as an indie game, it inspired other indie games, maybe. yeah, I can't really think of anything else to say. So I'm gonna end the video now. And thanks for watching. Sorry this ended up taking as long as it did. Or sorry for the length of the video. I just kind of got to talking more than I intended to. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and see you whenever I get around to making another video.